What is going on, guys? Your boy Guns here, and I'm bringing you guys a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, okay? On my ratings and a tier list, okay? S plus tier down all the way to like C and D, I think it was. Showing all the pairings that I've tested in the past or currently running. And the reason why I think showing like all the different pairings is because like so many of you guys of your accounts are in different places. Like maybe you invested in this, maybe you invested in that, maybe this or that, right? Big shout out to King Yami. Okay, King Yami. We're using King Yami's website called Card Hero Hub. Okay, so and here is my tier list, and I'll explain everything. Okay, we spent like a good hour, I think, roughly. So the way the tier list works, okay, we have a lot of different pairings on here, and I'll go ahead and explain it. So we can start from the top. So S plus, like these are the marches that are just untouchable compared to the rest, right? And I'll go in and explain each one. Okay, S plus are the ones that are just doing the absolute best. Okay, and then S tier is, you know, the ones that are up there like doing really dang good. A tier are the ones that are doing really good and are part of my starting lineup, but are not necessarily S tier, but they're up there. So if it's A tier, they're in my starting lineup. B tier is at some point they were in my starting lineup, but they're still performing like decent. You know what I mean? C tier are, you know, things that I ran in the past that I don't no longer run anymore. And then D tier is like more like some epic pairing stuff and support marches. Okay, so let's go ahead and start down here. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little further. Let's start here with the D tier. Okay, Waldir Atheist, Waldir Alwyn, Tara Waldir. Okay, so Waldir Atheist and Waldir Alwyn. I've tested these like way back in the day. For like the early seasons, but ultimately ended up getting away from it. I think Alwyn is probably my least used mage hero ever. I just never believed in him. I just don't really see the value in him, to be honest. Maybe they bring in a legendary version for it, but the ones I really want to talk about is my Tara Waldir and my Waldir Indus. These are my support marches. The Tara Waldir is my favorite support march because Waldir, I believe to 4 targets reduces 20% attack with the gloom, which is absolutely insane. And you got Tara with all her like healing and buffs and all that, so that's pretty good. And then Waldir Indus, same thing there. Waldir Indus helping inflict infirm on targets, and also like healing any tanks like near the target will be pretty good. And then C tier are marches that I used to run way back in the day, like the Lilia Haas, Lilia Waldir, Lilia Atheist, Waldir Valen, Waldir Thea, Thundolin Atheist, Lilia Indus. Like these are marches that I've ran in the past that, like, you know, obviously were well past its prime, but you know, options nonetheless. The options nonetheless that you guys can try out. Okay, we got the Waldir Valen there as well. Now, like I said, B tier are marches that I that are decent, but I don't use them anymore. Okay, for example, we got Lilia Thea up there, Lilia Valen. Now, Lilia Thea, Lilia Valen, out of every one of these marches, I mean, Thundolin Magret is kind of up there as well. Like they do good, but they're just not good enough to be in my starting lineup anymore. Like, for example, I've showed you guys in the past, the Lilia Valen can still do okay in my lineup with a proper sand lizard. Let me be very specific on that. With a proper sand lizard. And I'm also decently high in decoration. So, like, if you're low on decos, yeah, you can kiss your Lilia Valen goodbye, at least at the top level, right? I understand that Lilia Valen at some of the lower tier KVKs are still like S tier, damn near, or at least A tier at the minimum, right? But at the top level, yeah, Lilia Thea, Lilia Valen, not that great. Now, the Thunderlin Thea, I haven't ran that one in a long time. Thunderlin Thea could potentially be an A, but it's been a while, so I didn't feel safe putting it in the A tier if I haven't ran it in a while, you know what I mean? But it could potentially be an A. Thunderlin Magret also could potentially be an A, but they're just not doing as good as like a Thunderlin Moo, for example, right? So that's why it ends up going down to the B tier. Mags A, obviously an archer pairing that we ran with our mages for a long time could be a starter, but just not as good as my A tier, right? Musheng Bahorn, Musheng Thea, Bert Thea, Lilia Tohar. Lilia Tohar is one that could potentially be an A tier. Tinsy was running it for a while, but I think even he stopped using it. But like I said, these are all just like options that I'm showing you guys here. So like, you know, everyone's accounts could be in like different points. So we got the Lilia Tohar on there. So these are, like I said, my B tier ones are marches that I've ran in the past but are no longer in my starting lineup, with a disclaimer on Thunderlin Thea, which could potentially be up there. Let's go ahead and go into our A tier. Going into our A tier, guys. A tier are marches that I'm currently running and are doing amazing. That's why they're in A tier. Musheng Thunderlin. Okay, Musheng Thunderlin with Visage of Sanctus or Elegy do amazing. Bert Tohar, all right. Obviously with its full kit, with the Mirage Orb, with the Sand Lizard, okay? That's a very key point. Musheng Valen, also with the Visage of Sanctus, do absolutely amazing. Thunderlin Tohar are definitely up there. They do really good. Musheng Thea with the Sandglissy and Visage is a march that some people might try to argue and say that it's S tier, but it just doesn't do enough damage. So over long periods of time, it's going to get you a pretty nice report, but it's just not doing enough damage for me personally. Now, a new one here that I have, Valen Kantaman. Let me show you guys the Valen Kantaman report. I test, and I have it in A tier, not S tier, because I only ran it once. But it did amazing. A Valen Kantaman. It did really good. I only ran it that one time, one test, right? And you can see how it did compared to my Ming Vardoon testing there. So that's why I put it in A tier, because I'm like, okay, that thing slaps, but I'm not confident enough to put it in S tier, right? Then we got Valen Vardoon that's also doing really good. Some people could argue potentially S tier depending on how it's doing for them, but I've only seen a few reports and it's doing decent. Now, S tier are the marches that are just, you know, doing amazing. I mean, they're S tier for a reason. We got Ming Grimora. We got Ming Thalea. Now, the whole argument between Ming Grimora versus Ming Thalea, I think Ming Grimora is better, but I've also seen Ming Thalea slap as well. So it's like, you know, you can kind of like, I guess that one just depends on like what you already have. Like if you already have a Ming Thalea and you're hearing that Ming Grimora is better, it's not 690 tokens better, but it is. I do think it is better, but I Ming Thalea slap as well. Saluna Thea and Saluna Ballhorn, both marches that I've ran very extensively, and Saluna, even at the 5-1-5-1 configuration, is already sitting at the S tier, guys, for me. So I can't wait to awaken Saluna. I mean, you know, she's not the one I'm working on currently. I'm almost done with my Vardoon, and then I'm after my Vardoon, I do my Joran. But then I can't wait to get to her. And then we got Vardoon Thea that my boy New Phone ran for a while. And he said for sure S tier. It's a really good option. And then we also had Ming Thea that I ran along. I used to run that like kind of more as a test run. Is also a really good setup, and the reason why we found value in putting some of these up there is because like a Thea, for example, some of you guys might have Thea Max just from like, you know, token exchange events and stuff like that you can just like awaken something. Like Thea is obviously, you guys see her up here in the S tier, so she'd be a really good one to max right away that you can already put in with another march. It'd be really good. Now S plus, okay, You guys got to work with me here with the S plus. Vardoon Kantaman for sure S plus because it's better. It's beating Mean Grimora. S plus is reserved for the marches that are just like above their level. Seluna Bertrand. Okay, now the reason why I have Seluna Bertrand is because I do believe Seluna Bertrand it is the better pairing out of Seluna Thea and Seluna Ballhorn. However, I love my Bertrand Tohar. As you can see, they're sitting in the A tier and part of my starting lineup. So that's why I'm like, but yeah, I do think Seluna Bertrand is like the better setup for Seluna. Personally, my Seluna is not awakened yet, so I can't necessarily run her. I can't like. How do I say this? I can't necessarily say like it's beating Mean Grimora. However, you can type in the comment section below, let me know. But I talking to other people that have Seluna Max saying that yeah, it's beating Mean Grimora every time. So that lands them in the S plus tier. Now, the Vardoon Ming, I did a little mini test. And a bunch of other people also told me that their Vardoon Ming is definitely S plus. Some people say it's S. So Vardoon Ming could go between S plus and S. And the reason why Vardoon Ming is a good one is because those are two heroes that you can invest in and then branch out from that, right? Like let's just say like you just got into Season of Strife and you went with Vardoon Ming. Okay, well now you can kind of split them up if you want to. You can go like a Vardoon Thea, right? And then you could do Ming and just about anybody. You like let's say you got a Valen up there. You could do Ming Valen. You could do Ming Bertrand. You could do all kinds of different Mings this, Mings that, right? So yeah, now the other thing too to keep in mind with Seluna is that she is tied with the flying heroes, right? So that alone, some people might argue and say, okay, that will land her in S tier because she's tied to flyers, but I think she's that good. Even at, like I said, even at the 5-1-5-1 configuration, she's part of my starting lineup already, which I mean, if that doesn't scream hello, I don't know what does. So, but yeah, guys, I mean, this is the list that we put together here, guys. I'm really happy with this list, to be honest. If there's any pairings that we're missing or there is a pairing that you don't agree with where we have it, feel free to put it in the comment section and why. I love to see everyone's thoughts and everything like that. Like, it is possible that we missed a pairing or two on here. There's so many pairings, guys. So you can put it in the comment section below. Maybe someone reading the comments could read it and be like, oh, okay, that there's a pairing that they said that they miss. That's a good one. And if it's a really good one that I miss, like a really big whoopsie, I'll pin it. Okay, I'll pin it and we can go from there. But yeah, once again, big shout out to King Yami, honestly, for making the website with the tier list. A little feedback for King Yami. One of the things that I didn't like was that I couldn't move my pairings around. So for example, if I was trying to move like my Seluna Ballhorn like over here, like I would have to like redo everything unless there is a way to do it and I didn't know. It can get a little tricky, like when you're trying to move stuff around, it kind of makes a duplicate. So then you got to press the little X here to like get rid of it. And then while making the list, you kind of got to like zoom out to make sure you like drag it over. Those are like little mini things, but I think like the biggest thing as far as like my feedback with the website is being able to like bind the pairings together. Like I said, if there's a way, like cool. If there isn't, like it'd be cool to add it on to just move the pairings like together over, boom, boom, boom. That way you can kind of like move them around together and make it a little easier. But yeah, big shout out to King Yami. So far, I've only been using the tier maker here. He's also gonna end up uploading this. So I did do the export thing here. So it like submitted it, so it'll be on the website. So I'll put a link to his website down low. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed that Mage pairings video, which I've been wanting to do for you guys for a long time, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. Maybe we can do another one next. Maybe we could do like archers. Maybe we'll do calves. Maybe, I could bring on a guest and we can kind of explain certain things. Let me know, guys. Let me know. I'm excited. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, guys, hit that sub button, turn on that bell notification. Lets you guys know when I go live or drop a new video, guys. Until next time, it's your boy Guns, and I'm out. Peace, y'all. Use my link in Farlight store. Thank you. Bye.